gift 45 bears. This is Cecilia from Scrapbooking Cecilia, and today I want to share with you this tutorial. We are going to make a tea dispenser with this amazingly beautiful paper collection, Curiouser and Curiouser. I'm going to be using the 12 by 12, some black chipboard, two. I think we are going to need not two complete, but one and maybe a half of these black chipboard sheets, and some other elements. We need something to pull the lid up, and first I made already one with this beautiful paper collection, Seasons to Celebrate, and this is so beautiful. I really love it. I made this, well, this is not the first one that I made, but I already made my measurements and everything, and I am ready to share this with you. When we open the lid, we have room here to put all the tea bags. Of course, we have hanging here a spoon and some beautiful chipboard pieces, and of course a handmade mini tiny bag, tea bag. So when you have your tea bags here, you just need to slide this out. Okay, so let's start with this one. In this side that is not bended a lot as this one, you can see how easy I can move this, but this one no. Okay, so I'm going to measure 5.5 inch tall, 5.5 in all the 12 inches long. And now we are just going to cut. Okay, we are going to keep this closed because we will need it in a moment. Okay, we need to make some marks first at 3.5, 6.75, and 10.25. Now we are going to repeat the same in the bottom. Okay, so we start marking at 3.5, 6.75, and 10.25. And here where we have 10.25, we will cut, removing this little piece. Okay, here I am cutting with some pressure because I want to remove this little piece. Now in the two marks that I have here at 3.5, I say, yes, and 6.75, I am going to pass my knife twice, but without any pressure. I just want to make a mark. I don't want to remove it from here. Just 1 and 2 without any pressure. And now I'm going to repeat it here. 1 and 2. When we made this, now we can move this, and we have 3 sides of the box. Okay, these both sides are 3.5 wide, and the back is 3.25, this part, okay, by 5.5. So to cover this, I already have this gorgeous paper. This is Joyous Possibilities, and I am going to be using this side. So now, let me tell you where we are going to make the marks and the measurements. This measure 11 inches by 6, all right? So, facing up our paper direction and with the 11 inches on this side, we are going to score 3/8, 3 7/8, 7 1/8, and 10 5/8. Now, I am going to turn this to the right, and in the side which measures 6, I am going to score at 1/2 an inch. Okay, with this we are going to be covering this piece, but we will be covering on the back, not in where we made the cuts, inside. Okay, so first let's crease. I think that here I am just going to remove a little bit in angle here, my 3/8 of an inch that I have in both sides. Now in the bottom, here in the bottom, I am just going to cut a little bit in angle from the bottom to the 1/2 an inch, and here as well. Now here just a little bit, because later I don't want these pieces join too much, adding more bulkiness. Okay, now we are going to repeat the same here, and now I am just going to cover the white here, and we are going to cover, you can see here, this is the shape of my chipboard. Well, this side is where we are going to be covering here, aligning this perfectly in the top. Okay, so I am going to be using liquid glue. Needs to dry. The back side measure 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we need to cut an extra piece with the same, with that measurement. Okay, we have an an extra piece that is exactly like this one at the back, but we need now to make this opening. Okay, now in the bottom we are going to mark from one side to the center, in this side to the center, at 5/16 of an inch. Okay, so let's make our marks. We are going to measure from the bottom to the top 5/8 of an inch. And now this is the part that we need to remove. This is the piece that we are going to be using for the front. Now with the same paper, I already cut the piece that is going to be covering the inside, and this piece measure 3¼ but I cut just a hair before the 3¼ okay, by 6, and of course I score in the bottom a 1/2 inch. Okay, so let me bring some, because we are going to be using this to secure it here. And in the back we are just going to make a pencil mark we just made the pencil mark where we are going to be cutting. Okay, now for the front I already cut my papers because we need to do exactly the same. Okay, I already have my 2 pieces cut. Now before we assemble this, we are going to be using some black washi tape. This is not available right now, I think, I'm not sure, but I have a little bit of this and I want to use it. Now this is my front and this is my back. So now this is my back, so I'm going to stick this piece here really, it's almost on top of this. can add this here in the inside. Okay, now with my washi tape, I am going to cover all my 4 long sides, and later I am going to cover all the top surface. Let me make one with you, one of these sides, just to let you know how to do it. Of course, I want to use some glue here, and now I can add a little bit of glue where I made my cuts. Okay, and I'm going to repeat the same process in the 3 sides. Here you need to put more on this side because you don't want to go more to the center. Okay, okay, everything is set on the box. Now we need 2 pieces with the leftover piece of chipboard that we had. I already cut 2 pieces that measure 3 3/4 by 4. One it's going to be in the top, it's going to be the lid, and this one that I already covered with my washi tape all around. I'm going to make this with you. I add my washi tape, and then I use this paper for the top because I don't have more of the red one. That's why I am using this, and this is going to be in the back. Okay, now for this one I cut an extra piece that I want to attach here. So let's do this, and this paper measure 3 11/16 by 3 15/16. The chipboard is 3 3/4 by 4, and this piece I just cut it. I mean, I didn't measure, that's the truth. But this is 3 3/8 by 3 8/16. No, 9/16. 3 9/16. But you don't need to measure it so exactly. And remember, we have the hinges here, so we will be attaching this here. Align it with the back, okay? And of course inside we don't want to see the hinges, so I prepare this extra piece with this gorgeous paper, and this measure 3 3/16 by 3 7/16, and this is going to be here. If you need to cut a little bit, you can do it, okay? But now let's put this aside and let me show you how I made this one as well, just because the tip is really handy for this. Okay, just try to center this the best that you can, and then push this down, not in the corner, okay? And now here, repeat it in this side, try to center this, and here pinch the corner in this way. Now we can add the glue in all the sides, to complete the process here. this side as well. You need to add the glue in both sides, okay? This is important because, well, I already told you the washi tapes, all the washi tapes has not the best sticky side, but because this is removable and I don't want this to be removable, that's why I am using my glue. Now when you come to the corner is where you need to cut. Now here I am just going to calculate to overlap a little bit here, and now push here and then pinch in the corners, okay? And now cut here the excess in the corners. The paper, it's the same measurement of the bottom, so we need two pieces that measure 3 and 11/16 by 3 and 15/16, and I am going to be using the red, and on top this one with the same measurement of the other one that I already attached. Okay, I already stick the top side. In the bottom, I am going to be using the same paper that I have in the bottom, but the measurement is the red one, okay? This is the base, okay? This is just a decoration on top. So this is 3 and 11/16 by 3 and 15/16, but we need to wait to attach this. First, I think it is moment to assemble here. So use our bone folder. Okay, now we need something that holds this lid on place. So I already stick 2 pieces of chipboard. This is my measurement, 3 and 3/16 by 3 and 3/8 of an inch, and they are completely dry. So I am just going to hold my knife in this side, and in this way I know I can cut, align it with my measurement, which is this piece, okay? I think we need to come to the very edge. There we go. Now think. And here, okay, let's check first what we need here. Maybe I am going to remove, you can see here I have a gap, so I want to have a gap also in one of the long sides. So I am going to remove about 1/16 of an inch. Now I think we are done. We have, oops, also a gap here. You see, I have a gap in this piece with this paper because it's the paper that I have inside. So let's do this. Now let's check. You see, now it fits properly. That's why it's important to leave room here. Okay. Okay, now with a piece of chipboard that I have left, this measured 1 3/4 wide. Well, no, the toilet side, and it was a long piece that I just cut at 2 and almost 3/4 and stick them together. Now I am going to cover all the edges with my washi tape. Okay, I already have my paper, and I'm going to be using this metallic thing. I, I forgot the name. I don't have another one available right now, but you can use any one that you have or that you prefer, okay? try. Okay, let me tell you something that I did. I have these rhinestones that I've got in Walmart, and I don't like this color to combine it with this one, so I am using an alcohol marker to just add some color. This is something really easy to do. You just need to pass this on top of the rhinestones and you will have a nice ochre color. And then I just attach it in all, oops, the back and the two sides. I want to add here as well, but first let me tell you, before we add the rhinestones, let me attach this, because when I was ready and testing how this looks, I thought that it will look nicer if we add something red as well here. So this is the way that this is going to open. So let's attach this first, and you're watching here some of the chipboard pieces from the chipboard in the frames and tags chipboard pieces, because I want to add something hanging in the sides. So first I will try to align it and try to center this the best that I can. This needs to dry. I'm going to use these tags, but I covered the back and also here all around with this here zinc metallic finish gold embossing powder, and I did it here and also this corner, because my idea is to decorate also with this frame here, this watching for here, and this here. Yes, that's perfect. make that. And now that I can remember, I have here 1 spoon and 1 clock, and of course we are going to add this in a moment. Okay, first, this piece of cotton, this is just cotton, the measurement is about 4 3/4 by 1 5/8, something like that. Okay, so the first thing that I did was ink it a little bit. Okay, so you need to put this in the half as this. Probably I am going to use this as my front side, and here is where I want to use one of my ribbons here. Oh, this is so cute, super cute. I love it. Okay, and now I want to add my stamp here in the top. This I will try to center. That's enough. Okay, now okay, now the first thing I am going to do is to add glue just from here to here. Okay, this is my center. Let me add just a tiny line with my pencil just to see where am I going to add my glue. But leave this space open. Okay, here in the center, this is a black tea bag, and I am using this to fill here inside. We need to open here. Probably that's enough. And now we need to add glue to all this side and all this side as well. And now carefully we just want to join both sides. Okay, there we go. There we go. This need to dry, of course. You want to be sure it is stick in the sides. Okay, I think it's a good idea to add some glue here. This is fine in this way. Okay, I use this paper. Where is my other one? Oh my gosh, I cut already 2 of them and I lost one of those. So I am just trying to center this. This is a ½ inch. I've got this one that is a little bit long. Now here is where I am going to attach it, but first probably it is a good idea to add some glue as well. And now here is where I am going to add this one. I am going to add one of these. Here, and the other is going to be in the back. Okay. Okay, and now this is already finished. I think both are so precious because both collections are just beautiful, but this is from the Curiouser with Alice in the front, some things dangling here, this spoon charm, this clock charm, this tea bag handmade that you already watched me how to do it, and of course here we have room to add our tea bags, and then every time somebody wants to drink a cup of tea, just slide out the tea from here. And here is the more shabby version. So this is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe to Graphic 45 channel and mine too if you like what I teach here, and tag Graphic 45 and tag me, because we really love to see what you create with our inspiration. Thank you so much.